We've got a packed show today, starting out talking through top 10 receiver rankings, getting into the Broncos receivers, got a little guessing game, looking at the route trees and success rates, figuring out which graph goes with which Broncos receiver. Then we've got a Chiefs conversation, a Chargers conversation, and since this is the last show before training camp, we've got to get this all done in the next hour. Going to be a big show, starting in 30 seconds. This is the DNVR Broncos Podcast, still with no presenting sponsor. It sounds like there should be that there.
One day soon.
One day soon. You may be surprised to hear that voice. It's kind of fun that he popped up before we've got all the graphics done.
Back.
Yep. We are in the Toyota Lounge. You guys are in the Toyota chat. Should be a fun show. And we've got Jake Schwanitz with us today.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah.
Anytime you need me, and I'm glad you called on me.
Yeah. No, this has been a kind of crazy time because
It's been a wild week here.
Ryan started it out by going to Big 12 Media Day. Also was moving, doing all that sort of stuff. Zach has been in Japan for like a week now. I'm headed to Montana tonight and won't be back till Friday's show, I believe.
And Dre is gone too.
Dre is also gone because this is kind of the end of the offseason. Officially, this is, I think we could make the case it's the last show of the offseason.
Let's do that.
Yeah, might as well.
Welcome to football season,
yes,
everyone.
welcome to football season. Tuesday is the next show. We're taking Monday off, but Tuesday you will have the media barbecue. So Zach and RK will be breaking down what they took away from the media barbecue. Hear from a couple players, coach, owner usually. Wednesday, Thursday, they have like their acclimation practices. So usually not much going on. They're short practices, you know, mostly just stretching, getting used to it, make it a little bit less likely anybody gets hurt. Knock on wood. For the first practice Friday. I'll be back on Friday. For that practice, we'll have everything up on the site, and then we're off and going. Another show again on Saturday because they practice on Saturday, and then from then on out, Broncos practice. We have a show. Only a few weeks from the preseason. This is it.
Thank you.
Also, bless you.
Thank you.
I'm not good at
struggling over here.
I always forget to say bless you.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I forgive you, bro.
Out. This is going to be packed, though.
Let's do it.
You're a receiver guy, so this is kind of
Love
perfect.
Yep.
We want to get through these ESPN receiver rankings because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff, and a lot of these positions are kind of fun to talk about because you get to say, like, oh, Bo is just outside, or, you know, Quinn's the number 6 interior lineman. Should he be up higher? Garrett Bowles, did he deserve top 10? Pat Surtain, where does he? All sorts of that kind of thing. Here, no Broncos in the top 10. I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
Yeah.
We've got 11 minutes to dig through this list.
Okay.
Number 1, Jamar Chase. Number 2, Justin Jefferson. To me, they're a tier of their own.
Yes, they are.
And I'm a Justin Jefferson guy. Like
I'm a Jamar Chase guy.
There we go. Everything he brings to the football field with Justin Jefferson, like obviously the hands, the tough catches, arguably the best in the league. The route running is just electric. The speed plays up. If I could choose one, I would go with Justin Jefferson. Jamar Chase Triple Crown, though, you kind of have to give it to him, right?
I mean, for me, Jamar is just different because of the strength element of his game.
Totally.
Also, just the catch and run speed. I mean, they both have it, obviously, but Jamar, I feel like, has that like kind of Odell Beckham trait of like any slant can just go to the house type of thing. I mean, Jefferson's got that too, but I just love the physicality that Jamar plays with. And that's something that I loved about him going back to that 1 year at LSU he had.
Yep. As they say in the story, he's the ultimate first pick in the pickup game alongside Saquon Barkley. Which is what it is, where it's like maybe not quite as, I don't think he's as polished or refined. Not that he isn't polished or refined. Like, he is incredible. It's just that Justin Jefferson,
he's more of a technician. Yeah.
Historic in the way that he does that. I mean, NFL record 7,400 receiving yards in his first 5 seasons. Again, just that Jamar, it's the explosiveness, the strength, just the special kind of athlete that he is,
Yep.
I'm not going to fault anybody for being in front. I might have done the same. I mean, Triple Crown winner. What are you going to do?
Exactly. And I mean, there was that meme, right? When they were going to that draft about draft Penei Sewell, you can throw to anyone, you know what I mean? But Jamar Chase is just so different, man. He's transformed that offense. And he's been a joy to have on my dynasty team the last 3-4 years, whatever it's been.
Yeah, I believe that. That would be incredible.
A lot of fun.
Tyreek Hill, number 3. I think that's right. When I first see it, I think like, oh, really? Number 3? He didn't even have 1,000 yards last year.
But this is probably like the last year, right?
If this year goes like last year did, then yes.
I mean, just the guys behind him, I think that there's a few of them who are...
True.
It's just time for them to kind of move up in that range. I mean, Tyreek still has the speed. As long as he has that, he's going to be lethal. So
Yep. I think with him, it's just so tough to defend. Like, as they say in the story, like, veteran AFC scout, even if he's lost a half step, he's still more explosive than everyone. Power with raw speed. I do think defenses have made some adjustments to that offense, letting him run around with window dressing, limiting big plays.
Yep.
I think there is some of that, and it's just one of those things where if you're just that pure speed, deep threat receiver, and you still have, if you have about 1,000 yards, that's almost worth like 1,300 just because the defense is changing everything they do. You're getting so many people open. That's why number 3, I think that's probably right in front of CeeDee Lamb. They hit AJ Brown right behind him. CeeDee, sneaky underrated. I think he's probably in the right spot on this list.
he's probably the next up, I think.
Yeah.
Though, if Tyreek ends up going down, I mean, that's the order he goes in the list here. But
Totally.
I mean, you combine the age, what we've already seen from him. I mean, if he gets some stability from Dak, their running game, and even some help, with the other receivers, I mean, he's gonna be putting up numbers kind of like the other guys on the top of the list.
Totally. AJ Brown, of course, like as they say, like
Love AJ
probably
Brown.
lost a step, but he's just so big, so physical.
Yep.
It's just really tough for most cornerbacks to defend.
Still 28 though.
True. Absolutely. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 6.
Yep.
He another one who maybe just gets a little bit underrated. Like when you think of the Lions, how many names do you drop before you bring Amon-Ra St. Brown? It's just like, oh, Jahmyr Gibbs explosive.
I mean,
like,
Gibbs, Goff, Hutchinson.
Yep. There's just so many guys there that what he brings to a team, I think gets underrated.
For sure. I mean, and a lot of people, I think, point to like especially when Ben Johnson was scheming up all the crazy stuff, like what they were doing with Jamison Williams before Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is really kind of the engine of that offense.
Totally.
Keeps it moving. So
Malik Neighbors at 7 after his rookie season.
his time is coming.
Yep.
He is unbelievable, man.
Yep. Nico Collins, your guy.
Yes,
Number
sir.
8.
I mean, look, he's kind of got it all. Combination
Totally.
of size, speed, route running, hands, and going back to Michigan, he didn't really have a chance to show that off because that was when Shea Patterson was the quarterback. I mean, they were really struggling to get him the ball, but
AJ Brown in his game probably.
That's a solid comp. I mean, he's just so well rounded with the size too. It's just he's impossible to defend sometimes.
Yep. Maybe the first name on this list, I would throw Neighbors in there too. Where Neighbors at 7, it's like, oh yeah, wasn't really in my mind because he is still a rookie, but there he is. And like Nico Collins, it's like, oh, I didn't. As you scroll down, that's not what you expect to see there, but then you see it and you're like, well, yep, no, that's probably not. Like it's not wrong.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. And like last year was definitely like a coming out party for him in some ways, but especially when Diggs went down and it was kind of like, well, what do the Texans have at this point? And he just went crazy. I honestly think we've yet to see really the true best from Nico Collins yet.
Yep. Mike Evans at 9.
Just he's been there for the last 10 years now, right?
Yep. It's like he barely got 1,000 yards this year. They really had to force it.
It was the last play of the season, right?
Exactly. Yeah. He missed a few games too, which, maybe that balances it out. Obviously not what he used to be. Only 31.
Yeah.
Like with a guy like that, you would think like, yeah, maybe like 33s when you start to see the decline.
He's just so big though. Like,
totally.
He can be a post-up defender in the red zone for probably the next 4 or 5 years or so still, even if he loses a step.
In some ways, like a Devon Vele.
Yes.
Like, but big time, you
Yeah.
know? Garrett Wilson also gets into the top 10. It's interesting to me. I think in this bottom stretch, you could have 9 and 10 in particular. Maybe you throw 8 in there too with Nico Collins. A lot of different ways you could have gone. You look at the honorable mentions, Terry McLaurin. not a lot of like the big numbers. You don't get 1,300. Maybe he did it once. I don't think so. But you get those 1,100s over and over and again with the speed, the efficiency. Like it just does so many things for the offense. Puka Nacua right there. Oh, might be a little bit low.
That's the one to me that stands out more.
I
than
think
any
so
of
too.
them.
And then also Brian Thomas Jr. You get Malik Neighbors up there at number 7.
Sure.
The guy who is more productive is down here in the honorable mentions. Again, like we had the Trevor Lawrence talk yesterday. Not the greatest quarterback. One of the bottom tier is probably unfair. One of the 10 worst quarterbacks starting in the NFL probably, but still better than what the Giants have.
Yeah, I mean it's really just comes down to upside with him. How much do you like his upside, especially now that Travis Hunter's in the fold?
Yep.
I mean, you have 2 really dynamic receivers now. I mean, if they get anything out of ETN, more than they were hoping, when they drafted him in the first round, because Tank Bigsby has been kind of outplaying him, especially last year. So I don't know. I'm not ready to turn the page and like sell my Lawrence stock yet. I mean, still, we got to remember still, like he was such a highly touted prospect. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt for at least one more year.
Just never had good coaching.
That too. I mean, he came in with Urban Meyer, bro. Like
Totally.
What was he supposed to do?
Yep. Number 14 in the honorable mentions, essentially 14, DK Metcalf, then T. Higgins, then Devontae Adams. Weird list. I mean, DK Metcalf has always been tough to put on one of these.
Yeah.
Just because you're like, yep, pure straight line, speed, big enough to make plays. Not well-rounded is not a thing that you would say about him, but it just such a force in the way that he's a force that you're like, I don't know what to do with that.
I mean, he's literally overpowering at times.
Yes.
Where it's like, there's almost sometimes when he makes plays, it's like, how does he not like do this almost every other drive or something? So I don't know. I've had that kind of like dilemma with him the last 3-4 years. I mean, basically since that COVID season where it's like, you're almost there, but like you're not quite getting across the line to make that top 10 or even top 5 list.
Yep. We've also got the also receiving vote section. So you got Devontae Smith with the Eagles, Ladd McConkey, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Jamison Williams, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, Jaylen Waddle, and then the last spot, Courtland Sutton.
Someone's looking out for us.
Yep. I believe so there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. He is 26th.
That's not bad. I'll take that.
And for all we know, he tied with the 3 guys in front of him, so it's
Sure.
actually like 23rd. But
Right.
but yeah,
I mean, look, just going through this, I definitely take him over like George Pickens, Calvin Ridley, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
I really like DJ Moore and Chris Godwin. I know Godwin's gone through his injuries, but DJ Moore, I think, should have been maybe a little bit higher on this list. But some of the young guys, too, like Jamison, I know the Ben Johnson thing is going to it's pivotal
It's
for
big
the
for him.
Lions.
Yes.
For the entire team. I mean,
Yes.
for Jamison, too, because he was so put in such a position to succeed on so many of these reverses and the way they use them in motion. We'll see how he evolves and if he can become like a true like rounded out receiver.
yeah.
Beat guys downfield as opposed to relying on the gadget stuff. But
Let's say Courtland Sutton goes crazy next year. So
Okay.
1,200 yards, at least 10 touchdowns. Does he have any chance at the top 10 with those numbers? I won't answer for you.
I don't think so. And it's just because like ever since he came into the league, like he had a strong rookie year. And I always remember like it was a good like wide receiver class he came in with. I can't remember exactly who was in it, but it's like even since then, like after that rookie season, people never really wanted to give him the respect that he deserved at times. And, the injury obviously derailed things, like a lot of momentum at that point in time in his career, but he's bounced back. He just moves so well for a big receiver. I think that people just see like the size and they kind of discount everything else in his game. And that's why he's not really respected as much when it comes to some of these lists. The explosive factor too, like he doesn't have that like kind of wow factor that maybe some other guys do.
Yep.
But we know what he's capable of.
We're going to dig more into the Broncos receivers in a second. Before we do that, though, and it should be a lot of fun. I think it's a really good game. Got to give a shout out to some of our friends, including our friends over at First Bank. That's my bank. And it's just a great bank. I when did I switch over? It would have been when I first moved here, 2019. So 6 years in, not a single complaint ever.
There you go.
Whether on the road, at home, or somewhere in between, First Bank makes banking easy, convenient, and secure. Their mobile banking app allows you to check balances, pay friends, and manage your money anytime, anywhere. And here's the best part. Open a new First Bank checking account today. You could earn $300. First Bank is all about helping you stay on track. Their tools make it simple to stay in control of your finances without the hassle. No matter where life takes you, First Bank gives you the freedom to bank how and when it works best for you. So if you're ready for better banking and the chance to earn a little extra, head to efirstbank.com/bonus. That's efirstbank.com/bonus to open your account. Bank how you want, when you want with First Bank. Certain restrictions and requirements apply. Member FDIC. Also, giving a shout out to our friends over at Shady Rays. Like I said, I'm going up to Montana. We're doing all sorts of stuff outside, potentially float the river. Well, we're going to do it at least once. The question is how many times, because you just go out there, you just sit. Last time we were out there, because like cliffs on the side and all that, and there was this bald eagle that was just dropping in, and it's like 200 yards away, and you're like, oh look, I think that's a bald eagle out there, and it's just flying 5 feet off the water straight at you, and it peels up and goes right above us. It was so sick.
I saw an eagle today at the golf course for the golf tournament.
Yeah. Oh, were you out there?
Yeah.
Nice. Golf tournament.
I was out there.
Yeah. We were big fans of Shady Rays. They're the best sunglasses out there. They have so many perks that come with it. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com. Use the code DNVR for 35% off your sunglasses. Try for yourself these shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. All right. We've got a game. It might be tough for you to see these on the screen, so I'm just going to send them to you as we do them as well. What we've got are route trees. And these are from our friends over at True Media, who do a great job making all this sort of stuff. You just don't see it very often. Mm-hmm. So much work, such a great product.
Yeah, I think who does it? Oh God, I can't remember his name. I can see his face. So he does it for Yahoo, I think. Reception Perception.
Yeah.
What's his name? Jeez.
Yeah.
But he makes those all the time.
What we're doing is I took 4 Broncos receivers. So let's see. Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, and Evan Ingram. I threw him in there too. And just last season, what routes did they run? All these charts, if you want to pull one up, the first one, they've got the percentage of time that this was the route that was run. Or I think on targets, percent of the targets on each route. And then in the colors, you can see green, better EPA per attempt, red, worse. And so it's just better. Are you helping or hurting your team's chance to score? And I just texted this one to you too, Jake.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is guess which receiver is which. So this one you can see for those on the podcast, 29% go routes, 26% screens, 12% on the crosses and hitches, and most successful on the hitches, the crosses, the screens, not successful on things going downfield. And again, this is the Broncos' top 4 receivers from last year who are still on the team with Mims, Vele, Franklin, Sutton, and then also through Evan Ingram in. So we got 5. Who do you think this is?
This looks like Troy Franklin to me.
That is Troy Franklin.
Yeah.
That is Troy Franklin.
I mean, I think what gave it away is just how short I think the success is of the route tree. I mean, it just makes sense. He obviously had his moments on some, downfield routes.
Yep.
Was he the one who got the playoff game one? So, yeah, that stuff comes to mind. But, I mean, especially the crosses and the hitches. That just feels like Troy Franklin to me.
Yeah.
Troy Franklin. Get him to use the speed on the crosses and the screens, and then the hitches are just easy in-breakers.
Yeah.
Matt Harmon, thank you.
I think the big thing that stands out is just most of what he did is just run straight down the field. Mm-hmm. Bad things happen when they threw him the ball. And I don't think it's because he wasn't open. It was just the drops. It's if you bring in a couple more of those, all of a sudden that red arrow pointing straight up could be bright green.
Yeah, I don't know if they do this, but it'd be interesting to see this have the average yards per separation or when targeted or something.
They've got a bunch of different ones. I was trying to decide which ones. I decided EPA just because there's completion percentage on them. It's those are skewed.
Yeah.
Or they didn't just have pure passer rating. So I went with this. Want to hit the next one?
Good.
Yeah. All good. Okay, number 2. Oh, and I'll send this over to you too, Jake. So this one, you see, let's see, a lot of go routes, a lot of hitches, and
in and out breaking too stand out.
Exactly. There we go. Got it too.
Only 2.3% screen rate, which I feel kind of gives it away that this is Cortland Sutton.
That is Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
So most of the passes,
also the in and the outs, the success on those, it makes
he
so
does
much
both.
sense. Yes, exactly.
Exactly. So you see a lot of the crosses, the shallow crosses, a lot of hitches. Again, you remember that where he just goes up, he sits there, you throw him the ball. It's a little cross, you just feed him and let him go. Only 13% on the ins. It felt like that was more, maybe because it's just so loud when he makes those.
Yeah.
And then the success on the go routes as well.
The go route does stand out. Yes.
And when you look at this compared to the last one we looked at, just so well-rounded, not only in like the diversity of what you can ask him or what they did ask him to do, but the success on them. I think also interesting is that,
I mean, the slant is red, but 9.9 is like considerably higher than what Troy Franklin had. Like that's
true.
That's not terrible.
And like the slant plus the cross, like there's some similarities there.
Totally.
I would have expected better on the slant though.
Because that's what I was thinking.
Colors the EPA, and then of course you got the percentage on the side for those who didn't see it. But yeah, I think also like post routes, corner routes, not going well.
Yeah,
didn't throw those a lot to him though. Like that's efficiency. Like that's coaching, knowing what to ask him to do because there's so many things that you can ask him to do. I'm a little surprised because those are also kind of small sample size.
Right.
Quarterbacking could factor in, particularly on those corner routes. Like those are kind of tricky little touch passes. Sometimes you kind of back shoulder.
That's a tight throw, yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know. We'll see if somebody kind of grows into that role. Next one, sending it over now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot going on there, huh? I think
this guy's on the Broncos?
This guy's on the Broncos.
Let's go.
Yeah. So first of all, for those on the podcast, so many different routes. All of them green. Most used route, the out route, 24%, which is a massive slice of the pie in terms of where the targets are coming from. Then the hitch, 18.5. Then the slant. Then the cross. I guess the in is in there as well, and that's one of the few routes that is unsuccessful. Even that's only slightly. It's like the orange, not the red.
I mean, that's a better. It's got a better percentage. I don't know with exactly like. That relates to EPA, but it's better than Courts. So.
It is.
Is the wheel? I think is pushing me towards Evan Ingram.
That is Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
Yep.
This looks amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
This looks amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the wheel kind of gave it away for me. I mean, you don't see receivers really splitting out running wheels as much, and obviously it's not a running back, so from the tight end inline spot that makes sense. But I mean, this is exactly why he was such a incredible ad this offseason, dude.
Yeah. Can you bring that up again? Yeah. So only 5.6% of the targets on screens.
Yeah.
That is surprising to me. With Sean Payton in charge, that's going to be 15.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At least 10. That's double digits for sure.
And he's going to be able to get creative with some of those screens, too. Like, you're going to see a bunch of window dressing,
totally.
Like orbit motion, and then Bo's going to roll out one way and throw it back to Evan. It's going to be sick.
Also, the out routes.
Yeah.
The fact that that's obviously positive, but in going back and watching, I didn't realize that there were so many of those.
This is by far his most successful route, too.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, when you look at just the frame, the size, like he just kind of, it's almost like a post up, really. If he just cuts out and just stands on the sideline, like, I don't know how you're going to out jump or outreach Evan Ingram.
I know. It's crazy. Let's get into the next one.
Okay.
Just sent that to you as well.
All right.
48% of this player's targets were on screens.
This is Mims.
That is Marvin Mims, which is a crazy stat. 48% of his targets were on screens.
Yeah. But I mean, decent success on the long routes too. I guess in context, but
yeah, no, I mean they're green.
But that's his game. Get the ball in his hands, right? I know we all want to see it. This route tree look a little bit different.
Yeah,
moving forward. But when you have an athlete like him, and you can just get the ball in his hands, and you never know.
Totally.
How much of that 6% on post routes comes from the 90-yarder against the Browns?
I mean, so the 6% is like the target percent of his targets.
Oh,
on that,
targets.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
But the fact that it's bright green, that's where.
Yeah.
I mean, that one really helps.
I mean, but that was like a seam route. Does that classify as a go, I guess?
I mean, those are the ones that.
Yeah.
Like,
Like a
that's
banana.
why football's tough to like track.
Exactly.
You have to kind of decide. But what really stands out is that you just have him run to the flat, because you can throw the flat routes in there too.
Yeah,
if you add the
sure.
flat to the screen, all of a sudden 58% of targets just like just go
Right.
sit out there, and maybe there's blockers, and then you have like the go deep downfield, and everything in between just isn't really there for him. Which it might. That's who he is as a player,
Yeah.
and that probably will
Right
forever
now.
be like his strengths. Though those are what you do. It just, can you find a way to add a little bit more, especially on the crosses?
Well,
like that's the one where it's just, if you could get
Exactly.
that going, so you can just scare teams inside a
Exactly.
little bit, because we saw that with Xavier Worthy in the Chiefs last year, where that's, you start the season out, you're throwing deep ball, and it's like, there's something there. Sometimes it doesn't really work out, but eventually they figured out, like, well, zone coverage, you got Travis Kelce. That's your answer.
Yeah.
Man coverage, just get the ball in Worthy's hands, give him a
Right.
chance to run. And maybe it's only like a 6-yard game, but maybe he breaks one. That's, if Mims adds that piece, to me, that's what's next. And if you wind up getting like the deeper in-breaking routes, or even like the out-breaking routes, that might be, the out route in particular may never come, just because that's not really his skill set. But the cross at the minimum just makes him a scary player, a scarier player.
Doesn't make sense how he doesn't have more success on cross, because it's not like you need technique to run a crossing
No, you
route.
just run.
Exactly. So I don't know if he's just not getting targeted, or if he's had some drops on these, and that's why the EPA is down. But
Yeah.
that just doesn't make sense to me. That's something that he should improve in. The hitches too. I mean, that should be something that Marvin Mims can do right now at a average to above average level in the
Yeah.
NFL and have some success with. So
Just because he should be scaring teams.
exactly.
Like
so,
his speed should scare him so much that you're able to, there's that space right there for you.
100%. So I expect those to at least improve. And if those improve, you're looking at a pretty good route tree, actually.
Absolutely. Because that's where, to me, you just need that one more piece.
Yeah.
Okay, last one here.
I mean,
Yep.
process of elimination. But
Yeah, there's only one guy left.
I can tell kind of, it makes sense when you look at the tree too.
It really does. 32% of the targets on the out route.
Yep. And it's probably those like speed outs, you know,
Yep,
from
exactly.
anywhere from 5
third
to
and
10
5.
yards.
Yep,
yeah,
third
exactly.
and 4. Like,
exactly.
yeah,
So
that's
this is
Devon
Bailey.
Bailey. That's Devon Bailey. Interestingly, so 24% of his targets come on the hitch. Didn't go well though, and I guess I don't remember a lot of plays on those. Is where you start, but again, like that's kind of the other piece of the game, right?
Yeah.
Where it's, if you're even just looking at this, like, you're not a deep route runner. They sent him deep occasionally just because, you know, you go,
have
you
to,
do it,
yeah.
it clears things out, like keep the defense honest. But when you have the out, what do you pair that with? Well, the hitch is a great thing to pair it with, because again, zone coverage, there's a lot of time where, you know, stick, where you're deciding like,
Right.
oh, against man, I'm running the out. Against zone, you sit in the zone. So you kind of, in a lot of different ways, need that other piece there, and the hitch didn't work, which is interesting.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, the splits between corner and post. I mean, it's clearly his success on outside breaking routes as opposed to inside,
Totally.
like towards the middle of the field, which is kind of odd. But maybe that's just Sean. It's kind of how he schemes up Bailey, you know.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different elements that go into this tree, but it makes sense with what we saw from him, and also it's kind of encouraging too. This one, like, you don't need Bailey to be a great screen guy, obviously.
Nope.
Like,
He's a blocker on those.
him being good in the crossing game is, you know, that's a plus for sure.
And it's like a light green, which I think
Exactly.
is fitting. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
he's good. It isn't groundbreaking. There are no like big plays that like help the average, but it's consistent. He finds little pockets, gets you a couple yards.
I mean, if the go turns green, that's incredible. But if you get
Yeah.
one of those two in breaking routes kind of going, he's
Totally.
going to be a much more lethal player
Yep.
moving forward.
And the other piece to me, it's interesting. Only 1.6% of his targets on the in route.
Yeah,
Which
compared
is
to the
where
outs, too.
you saw, like, first of all, this is where you saw Bo have a lot of success in college. Like, so the most pro level throws that you saw for him were those cover 3 beaters where he's picking those pockets. And you see the same thing in the NFL with Cortland Sutton. Now, a big reason why only 1.6% of the targets for Vele are those in routes is because, well, if that's the throw you want to make, make that throw to Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think that's the other thing where, as somebody whose speed doesn't really scare you, there is a little concern, like how long does it take that route to develop? Like 14-yard dig, you got to run 14 yards, you got to get over, and then you got to get into the pocket. If he adds that piece to the game and can kind of scare in the intermediate a little bit more, that's where it'll open things up and make things easier for him on the short routes, like that quick little hitch, the speed out, little crossing routes. You don't need to stretch him deep, but you got to at least stretch him medium.
Totally. I mean, it's clear that, I mean, they liked him for a reason. He had a great athletic profile coming out of Utah last year.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think all of us would like to see more.
Totally.
Some go balls to Devon Bailey. Like, let's see him, play above the rim, try and moss some kids, and then also just score some more touchdowns that way too.
Yep. Real quick before we hit this break, somebody said no Pat Bryant college tree. I don't have access to the college route trees. I think I could probably find it somewhere. I'm going to.
I'll look around during this break.
Yeah, see if you can do it.
Machine.
I've got some Pat Bryant stats. I brought them up earlier this week, so some of you have heard them. But I do have some stats that can replace that chart.
Okay.
Real quick though, we are here in the Toyota Lounge. And that makes it very easy for us to remember how important our friends over at Toyota are. Like I said, going up to Montana, nothing better than a Toyota up there. Whether you're driving up a mountain, driving down dirt roads, or even just driving up there. It's interstate most of the way. That'd be a great way to go. Fuel efficiency is awesome. More hybrid and low emission vehicles than any other vehicle producer. 17 different models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the 4Runner. So whatever you're trying to do, they've got answers. The Tacoma, Land Cruiser, all sorts of other stuff. RAV4. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota app on Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East, Aurora Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL, and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. Also, giving a shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. Very important to be paying attention to your finances. I'm currently budgeting my trips up to Montana this fall because I think I'm going to get to 3 Grizz games because there's the weekend where...
the buys were favorable for you.
Exactly.
Right?
So the bye week is the Cat Grizz week, and so that's going to be electric. But also you have the Monday night game against the Bills on that Saturday. I believe it's Idaho in town, which is another big rivalry game. There's like the Thursday night Raider game followed by Eastern Washington on Saturday up there. So I'm playing those. The flights not as expensive as you'd think, but by using Monarch Money, you can take advantage. Make sure you do all those things that you want to do. Make sure you're not wasting money or overspending on anything. They track your finances. It's bigger than that because you can actually track all your spending, savings, investing, all in the same place. Wall Street Journal's best budgeting app of 2025. Get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR. All right.
I tried, bro.
I know. It's tricky out there. Let me just search Bryant in my notes because I have my stats page for him in here somewhere. Here we go. I just said this a couple days ago. Oh, yesterday with Benny on. But of the 130 receivers with the most targets between 10 and 20 yards downfield last year, 130 of them, Pat ranked first, 145.8 pass rating when targeted. In particular, incredible against zone coverage, 144.2 pass rating against zone. That's 7th out of 302 receivers with the most targets. Also good in the 1 to 10 yards. I thought I had some in between the hashes stats, which were very good, but I'm not seeing that. No, I don't have any of the in between the hashes stuff down. But I can say that is where he's at his best. So digs, drags, including those deep ends, again, which might block Vele from being the primary target on some of those. And you do see like the out routes, but a lot of it's sitting in zone coverage with some decent man stuff that gives him some upside there.
Yeah. I mean, I watched like 3-4 games of him, after the draft. So that's really my only exposure to him, but he seemed like he could kind of he's well-rounded, but
Yep.
it's obvious that he's got quite a ways to go in a few areas. I mean, I actually kind of like his route running for where he's at right
Totally.
now. I mean, I'd say he's probably ahead of Troy and Marvin at this point in time.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's just the special sauce, right? I think that's the one thing. But to his credit, he was such a clutch player. What was it, 4 game-winning touchdowns last year? Like, I don't know if that's like, transferable, if that really translates, but that's something that gets me excited in terms of, what type of player we're getting in Pat Bryant.
Yeah.
But if he can do that, because obviously we go through these route trees that we just put on the screen. Evan Ingram had by far the best one, right?
Yeah. Just so well rounded.
Next with the receivers, it probably goes Court, then Mims.
Yep. Again, Mims, it's not diverse.
Right.
It's screens and deep.
Yeah,
but he does those, and that's
But he does them well. So
Troy doesn't have the deep yet, or at least the efficiency.
Exactly. So if he can just come in and really kind of just, again, have a well-rounded but maybe not elite route tree that's, shows that he can do all sorts of different things and contribute everywhere.
Yep.
That's just another chess piece for Sean. And to me, that's the most valuable thing he brings to the table. He can kind of do everything. Sean has, he's going to figure it out exactly how to best use him and all his fun little tricks. So
I think if there's special sauce there, which again is what you're hoping for from a lot of these guys. That's where, like with Vele, what is he? Is there special sauce? It's like, I don't know if there's special sauce, but there are enough things that they're there so you can expect 600, 700 yards out of him if you give him the opportunities. Like Troy Franklin has the special sauce. He has that speed, the separation. It's just, can he catch the football? With Pat Bryant, if there's special sauce, it's the contested catches. And it's like the tough stuff on the sideline, the catches over his
reliability.
head, like the outside of his hands, where it's just like, this guy is blanketed. He's not open, but you threw him the ball and he was able to make the play. Because there's a lot of really tough contested catches on the sideline in particular. Does it hold up? Because again, like if that does hold up, there is a lot of guys can't track the ball when they lose it behind the corner's helmet or whatever when they jump.
I know, and it gets me excited talking about it, but also I think it's something that we have to remind ourselves. He still was a 3rd-round pick. Like, I don't want to put too much on this 3rd-round rookie right now, have my expectations too high, but he is very exciting, and I just trust Sean. I mean, same thing with RJ Harvey. A lot of people are like, oh, this is a reach, but I think Sean deserves, kind of the benefit of the doubt to allow him to just really go out there and handpick his players for what he wants to do offensively. Totally.
I mean, speaking of the 4th-round pick, don't want to put expectations on him. There is, I'm trying to find the story I wrote about Troy like a month ago. With Troy, his stock is up from when he was drafted. And I think that people kind of get lost in the fact that the numbers weren't incredible or whatever. I wish I still had my Troy Franklin, all the exact stats. But so he was picked number 102 in the draft.
Yep.
And so I went through the past, I think 10 drafts with only the receivers that were drafted between picks 92 and 112. So he's dead center of those, I guess, 21 picks because his is right in the middle, 10 before, 10 in front. And I believe there were 23 of them, and he ranked 9th out of those 23 in receiving yards as a rookie. So, like, in terms of where he was drafted, he was slightly above average. And then you throw in that he had the big play in the playoff game. These are just regular season stats, and there's like a tick up. And on top of that, he was the youngest player in the group because he was 21 years old. And so you would expect him to be even lower. Like, out of 23, because of the age, it's like, yeah, you could still be optimistic if he was like 14. And so he didn't, like, blow expectations out of the water, but he was slightly better than what you'd expect from a receiver at that pick. And then you get to factor in he was only 21 years old in an offense that was new for a lot of people, including the quarterback. So,
and I mean, obviously the speed. I mean, that's really the big thing. Like, you don't really find guys that fast in the 4th round, and usually when you do, that there's some reason why, and it might be the hands. But I remember, like, do you remember this? Like, right after they drafted Troy, Des Bryant posted a screenshot of like his conversation with Sean. And Sean, the thing that stood out to him about Troy, he said was great ball skills. So, you obviously got to see that more. And also, I want to see him just like the playoff game, put him over the top more, because that's really where he made an impact at Oregon that last year. I know that Mims is kind of just, I mean, we just went over the charts. Like, if you have someone better, it totally makes sense. But you saw it in that playoff game. Like, Franklin can do this too. And if there's a path to success for him, I think it's getting him more comfortable doing stuff like that. So.
Just so you catch the ball.
Yep.
All right. we've got 20 minutes left.
Okay.
We're going to finish off the series looking at all of the opponents. Yes, that's true. The ops. That's the cool kids would say. We got 2 games left, though. Luckily, we've talked about both these teams. We talk about them a lot. Week 17, the Broncos take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Christmas Day game, 6:15. Everybody's going to be watching, and you're going to be out at Arrowhead for that one, for what could be a massive game.
The Broncos are winning this game.
I like it. There we go.
It's time. It's time to take it to them. Obviously, last year showed the signs. The last game of the year doesn't really count. But from what I saw in that game going into Arrowhead, maybe not in as pressure-packed of a situation just because of when it fell in the season. When was it? Mid-October that game happened? Was it November maybe?
Yes.
Either way, the fact that this is a Christmas Day game, like late in the season, like this could be potentially for the division.
It could be.
If things completely go the Broncos' way. So they got to bring it in this one. And, that feeling, and I know a lot of these guys weren't here for it all, but when's the last time we won an Arrowhead?
Oof.
Is it the Bradley Roby?
I think it's
game?
Bradley Roby.
That's crazy. So that's got to sting a little bit, man. Like that can't keep going on. So and we'll see what the Chiefs do offensively. I know they had a weird year last year with how short they were throwing it and all that. So the Rice stuff came down yesterday though. So we'll see what happens with his suspension. But it's time to finally beat these guys, man.
Yep. Can we see how the Chiefs are different from last year, Yaya? Oh, okay. Well,
Yaya denied us.
They're a different team from last year. Here we go. Lose Joe Thuney, who, again, we talked about a little bit before, but really good guard.
Yeah. Aging.
You just can't afford to pay everybody. They had Trey Smith. They had Creed Humphrey that they had to pay or on big contracts. I wonder how much this loss is kind of outweighed by the fact that he was playing tackle at the end of the year, where he wasn't at his best.
Okay.
So it isn't like a pure loss because you weren't really using him in a way where he was going to be dominant. Tershawn Wharton got a big contract. Justin Reed, been there a while. He's gone. DeAndre Hopkins, he made some plays, but wasn't like a big deal consistently.
It's over.
And they're bringing in Jaylen Moore, who will be that left tackle. At least that's the expectation. They also drafted Josh Simmons in the first round there at the bottom. So those should be your starting tackles in one form or the other. Bring Christian Fulton, who, he's fine. Elijah Mitchell joins the running backs room where we'll see what happens. Jerry Tillery, one Broncos offensive lineman at one point said he is the worst defensive lineman in the NFL. How does he still have a job?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Won't name names. This was a few years ago. Maybe Jerry's better.
That's good info.
Gardner Minshew is joining as the backup quarterback. It's no longer Carson Wentz.
All right. I mean, I think if you asked Andy Reid or you gave him some, a truth potion, he'd probably say this isn't the ideal makeup for a team with Patrick Mahomes that he would want. Wide receiving core is still, sheesh, man. You're putting a lot on Jalen Royals to make an impact, and the timing of the Rashee Rice suspension is obviously going to loom large for these 2 games.
You'd think this one he'd be back. It probably won't be a season-long suspension.
But it's 6 games, right, that he's up for.
Is that what it is?
That's what I thought I saw.
Oh, interesting.
So, but you know how it works, man. Like, they take forever on some of these things. Like, sometimes they just come at random times. So, we'll find out. But running back wise is Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, like, is that still enough at this point? I know they added Elijah Mitchell. He's done some things, but
I still like Pacheco. I think he's a good running back.
He just broke his leg last year, right?
That's and they couldn't run the ball at the end of the year, which is why, again, like they supplemented with all the screens, and it didn't quite work. And in the past, they were able to do the thing where it's like put Kareem Hunt in there, let him go get 4 yards. Like, it won't be explosive, but it'll be good enough to keep you on track. But even like watching the game they almost won here with Noshawn and Phil Lindsay was here, and watching what they had to say about like the offensive line is doing all the work. Like, sure, Kareem Hunt looks fine. Yeah. In their words, they could both do better, but you know how confidence goes.
Of course.
But they need something to happen in this running back room. And if it's Isaiah Pacheco just gets back to himself.
Yeah,
that could be it.
I could totally see that because I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was a fibula he broke
I believe
something in
yes.
his leg, I think. So he came back, obviously, but he truly wasn't himself yet. So I still think he can be fine. But overall, the Broncos defense should be able to handle this offense,
You would
man.
think.
I mean, totally.
You would think. And I saw him Pacheco. I like him better in the shotgun. Like I like him better.
Yeah.
Like dump the ball off, let him run, get the screens going, the zone stuff against light boxes that you can create by playing out a shot. I don't know that he's like your downhill under center, like between the tackles guy.
Right.
I think he can get the job done. I don't think he's anything special, and he might even be like below average to bad. And that's where Kareem Hunt was able to patch some things. Can Elijah Mitchell take some of that? I'm curious because again, coming from like a zone scheme too, as Chiefs have some of that in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would think you could handle him. Pat in the past has played quite a bit against Travis Kelce. Curious to see how that goes. Travis might not be good enough at this point to command that,
Right.
and it probably depends more on the other receivers that they have. It's like, what are you getting at Xavier Worthy?
Yeah.
Because there's a chance that he, like I said before, he looks really good. When you ask him to do like those little drag routes, let him run. He can take the screens. He's in some ways like Marvin Mims, who's just a little bit more well-rounded, or maybe even slightly more well-rounded. It's honestly just the little drag stuff. It's just that you can add that piece, that there's one more way. You can give him the ball without feeling like you're really going out of the way to get him the ball.
I think it's a little bit different of a situation where, because of where he was drafted in the first round, and because kind of, especially when Rice went down with the injury last year, like they needed to like fast track him. You know what I mean? Like, and I think Sean has done a great job with that, with the Broncos receivers, Mims specifically, in terms of like not putting too much on his plate, really highlighting his strengths, and then allowing him to grow along.
Totally.
And shoot, I mean, you could say the Broncos wide receiver situation maybe needed Mims to come along a little bit faster, but what you're seeing now, I don't think would have happened if maybe he was forced into the Xavier Worthy situation of last year, where it's like, we know you're a rookie, but you know we need you to be like wide receiver one kind of right now. So
yeah,
Broncos should
Hollywood
beat this
too.
team, man.
Like Jalen Royal's also fast. Like they have big playability, which had been lacking at points ever since Tyreek Hill left.
Yeah,
and I agree. Like the Broncos, they have more than enough to shut them down.
Yep.
It's just, do you give up a couple big plays at some point? And I mean, what happens in the trenches? Because even with Joe Tooney gone, you've got Kingsley Suamataia at left guard. You've got Creed Humphrey at center. You got Trey Smith at right guard. So you expect to have a minimum 2 Pro Bowlers on the interior.
It's pretty good
Josh
still.
Simmons, Juwan Taylor, Jalen Moore, who you gave $20 million a year to, and even Wanya Morris, who was bad last year, but got a lot of reps as their starting tackle with all the injuries. That offensive line could be really good.
that is true. I still think the Broncos, they proved enough last year when in what may have been a better offensive line.
May have been.
We'll see. But they proved to me a lot in that road game, going on the road to KC, obviously almost pulling off the upset. But to me, this makes me feel so much better about the Barron pick, honestly.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs really want to be more explosive again, as you said, right? Like, that's just where they took over games, how they were just demolishing teams a few years ago because of their speed and big playability. That was gone last year. And now the Broncos really have kind of leaned into making sure that that's how it stays with the Barron pick. You know, if you can just cover these guys up, I'm very confident in this front, and at least containing, but getting to Mahomes as well. So
I think with Barron, I mean, one of our big knocks on him was that when he was playing on the boundary, it's all off coverage. Like, you almost never saw him actually press a receiver.
Yeah.
And in the NFL, you need to be able to do that.
right.
Against those little speed guys, like if you tell me you want to line up 10 yards off the line of scrimmage and just like it's a good matchup for him. I might as well. We got a minute. What do you think of the Chiefs defense?
I mean, it's solid. I mean, when you still have Spags is still there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really say too many bad things about it.
Yeah.
He's really done a nice job with that team the last 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. Talent-wise, though, like, I don't get too excited, especially in the secondary. Like, McDuffie's a good player, obviously, but after that, I mean, if the Broncos get those jumps from some of these wide receivers, like, I think they can put up points on this team. You know, the linebacking core that they have, I think, is really good. Chris Jones is obviously still there. You know, Mike Dana's done some things. Mike Pennell as well. So, and Karlaftis is a first-round pick. Like, it's a nice defense.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 sacks last year for Karlaftis, 10 sacks the year before. To me, it just lacks playmakers. Like
I could see that.
You have Chris Jones, and you just don't have real playmakers.
McDuffie,
like,
maybe?
Yes. Trent McDuffie, really good.
Yeah.
One of the 5 best corners in the NFL. I want to say, let me double check this.
Did he not have much like on the ball production?
He had 2 interceptions last year, the first 2 interceptions of his career. So the narrative going into like even like week 13 last year was the guy has never picked off a pass before.
Yeah.
And so again, like how much does that matter for a corner? Like, it's not huge. Like, there are other things you'd prefer. Like, do you just lock the guy down? And he's good at that.
He had 13 pass breakups too, though.
Yep. But again, I'm not sure. He's certainly not in the playmaker mold.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
if
like
Sauce
a Marcus
is a
Peters
playmaker,
that they used to have.
Marcus Peters is a playmaker.
Yeah.
A Pat is a playmaker who's also locked
Sure.
down. But even if that's the case, if you want to call him like their second playmaker behind Chris Jones, there isn't much else. Like George Karlaftis, like I said, is he going to get 10 sacks?
I mean, Bolton's
Probably
made some
more likely.
plays here and there, but
Totally. It's a lot
yeah.
of just like plug
You're
up
right.
the middle, don't let him leak. And there's a lot of value in the don't let him leak defense.
Sure,
But
especially when you have Mahomes at quarterback.
exactly. It's still going to be good enough. And they blitz so much and they have so much
Right.
creativity there that they manufacture plays.
Can someone hire Spags away already?
Totally.
Can we be done with this?
Wouldn't that be
Jeez.
nice? Totally. But just the Broncos playmakers.
Yeah.
And I think let's
Yeah.
transition to the Chargers right here.
Sure.
I mean, I think the Chargers have some playmakers on defense. And I think that's kind of the difference. You look at, I guess, Khalil Mack. That might be giving too much. Derwin, obviously.
Derwin, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
put that
Let's
up.
transition.
I mean, we were talking before the show about Tuli Tuipulotu.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of him coming out of USC.
Karlaftis type numbers.
Yeah.
And younger.
Yeah. So, I mean, once I understood that, it made way more sense to me why they moved off Joey Bosa, obviously. They get Kyle Kennard in there as well from South Carolina.
Yep.
So he made some plays last year in college. But, I mean, the defensive line doesn't get me too excited, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like the Broncos should be able to run on this team a little bit.
Yeah, you would think. You'd absolutely think. I really liked Junior Colson coming out. Like, really like Junior Colson
he's
coming out.
fun.
Like, the story, didn't have a whole bunch of football experience. Came over from another country. I don't remember which country because I haven't thought about it in a year and a half.
I think you're right, yeah.
But yeah, was drafted super young out of Michigan, the center of that defense that won a national championship. Freak athlete, crazy instincts. Didn't see the field much last year. Like, I think that could be one of the best linebackers in the NFL. But again, what is he in not his rookie season, but his first season where he's starting? I don't know. I don't think it's going to cover up a bad defensive line.
I mean, it's kind of a pretty young core back there that they have in the
Yeah.
linebackers at the second level. I mean, Khalil Mack's obviously a vet. They got Bud Dupree as well.
Yeah.
Denzel Perryman is still there, which is crazy. But it's a lot of young guys that are going to be stepping up for them at that second level. And again, if the Broncos can run the ball, it might be a long day for some of those guys who are making an adjustment.
Totally.
The secondary is... they've had better secondaries in the last few years.
I agree. Dante Jackson intrigues me for them. All-time Madden player.
Yeah.
All-time Madden value player. Just like the speed that he brings to the table, like
Yeah,
the
of
ability
course.
to play man against just about anybody. Undersized, doesn't tackle all that well, has flaws to his game. But I agree. And that's... I like him a lot as a number 2, but as a number 1, you're like,
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
against the Broncos, you have to remember the matchup. Like, it's not like you're
Right.
going up against the Vikings. We talked a lot about Justin Jefferson. You're like, oh, that guy and Justin Jefferson, that's not going to work. Well, guess what? Broncos don't have a Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
So I think that's in some ways a pretty fair fight between their secondary. And Derwin on Evan Ingram is going to be kind of a fun matchup.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, looking at their offense, we all know what that offense is all about. They just want
Right.
to run the football. Any game where they have 25 pass attempts, Harbaugh's not going to be able to sleep that night because of what.
Yeah.
But the running game last year wasn't good. It was very, very average.
Well, especially when JK went down, right?
Totally. And then that kind of second half of the season for him too, where it's just, it wasn't as, they were incredible right off the jump and then never really found that footing again. You add Mekhi Becton though, And Joe Alt, who was really good last year, now in year 2. Rashawn Slater, another year removed from injury. Zion Johnson at center. They bring in Bradley Bozeman, who's been a starter in the NFL for a long time. And on top of that, like, also have Andre James, the center from the Raiders.
Yep.
Who, again, like, hasn't been a world beater, but has been a starter. You know, Jamari Salyer still coming off the bench. Trey Pipkins, who was a starter for them last year, gets relegated to the bench. So the depth is good there. The competition's good there. And by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if the first 5 that they go with is different from what we're dealing with at the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I think that's the biggest reason for hope for their run game is just that they have different guys who they can try out, and some combination you would think is going to look good.
They got depth in that running back room too. I mean,
Tyler Conklin also in there.
I like Tyler
end,
Conklin as well, but
yeah.
I mean, Omari and Hampton, I wasn't the biggest fan of him in the draft, but I think he's a good fit with this offense. Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm almost ready to just say the ship has sailed on that one, but
Yeah.
the guys behind him, I kind of like. I mean, Raheem Sanders, that was a guy Dre was a big fan of
Yes.
coming out of Arkansas. Jarrett Patterson, you remember him? He was the
Yes.
guy from Buffalo, I think.
Yes.
Kamani Vidal did some things last year, and then Hassan Haskins, that he goes back to Michigan with Harbaugh, but this is a better offensive line, it looks like. It's a better running back room. I mean, it's clear. You know exactly what they're going to do.
Yep.
Shut down the run, and you're probably going to win this game. But
Yeah.
they got slightly better at wide receiver, I think, with Trey Harris. You still need to see, a step from either Quentin Johnston, Darius Davis, Keandre Lambert-Smith before I really start to feel scared. Brendan Rice you could throw in there too before I really start to feel scared about them on the outside. But, you know, it's kind of put Pat on Ladd, I guess.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
shut down the run, and I think we're feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah. I mean, Quentin Johnston, you're just
Just don't let him beat you
as
over
of
the
now,
top.
thank you for putting Quentin Johnston on the field. Like, he's
Facts,
no
yeah.
Devon Vele.
Yeah.
Trey Harris, I really, really, really liked him.
I liked him too.
I don't know that he's the kind of guy who thrives as a rookie.
Yes.
I think that he's one who needs a little bit of polish. You see, like, the raw traits, and, like, you can manufacture stuff. Like, you send him deep and see
Right.
if you can make a couple plays, but a lot of it's going to be like screens, those old drags. Can he make something where you just put the ball in his hands? But in terms of, like, the route running and all that,
He also needs
Yeah.
like Ladd to take a big step to, to kind of shift coverage away and I
Totally.
think help him out because, I think, right now if they lined up, like you see Pat across from Ladd McConkey and you feel really
Totally.
good about everything else, right?
totally.
So they don't move me at this point right now. I did
They
like
do
Trey
have
Harris
size.
too, though. They do
Where
have
it's
size
like, you
on the
look
outside.
at, like, Riley Moss is like 6 foot, Jade 5'11" probably.
Yeah, I think he's around there.
That could cause an issue. Or maybe even more so in the run game.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you have those two out there blocking against guys who are smaller than them. If you can get a run to the edge, could go big.
Yeah.
To me, passing game I think is just going to be just like last year.
Setting it up, play action.
Exactly.
Deep shots.
There isn't going to be much difference. The run game going to be better. Defense was the #1 scoring defense in the NFL last year. That's not going to happen again, but it's just, to me, it's the math of, and I've said this before on the podcast, how much better is the Chargers running game? How much worse is the Chargers defense? And do they cancel out so that you wind up with they win 10 games last year?
Think so, right?
Yeah. And so it's like, if they cancel out, there you go, there's 10.
Mm-hmm.
If the regression of the defense is bigger than the improvement in the run game, there you go. Like, it'll swing just based off of that.
Yeah. I mean, again, looking at this defense, they're putting a lot of guys, younger guys in position, like starting positions. Like, it's kind of a transition year for them on defense, right? So I think that's really your chance right there. If you get on them early, get ahead of them early, and you're running it well, you're throwing it well, maybe Bo's running around making some plays, like, and you're really balanced, I think that you have a chance to truly not just push these guys, but kind of, overpower them in a way with what you have in Denver.
And that was the problem last year.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get up early.
Yep.
And we were looking at first game, they're down
first
20
game,
to zip.
yeah, I mean,
at
Pat
half.
goes down, they have like a pick and a fumble, like, so.
Fluky stuff for sure. We're going to hit overtime in a second. So for those of you who are watching on a television, go head over to the website, thednvr.com. We'll be live over there as we wrap things up. Last question, I think.
Okay.
Tougher matchup, Chargers or Chiefs?
Oof. Oh, man. I mean, it's hard to go against Mahomes.
Yep.
I just don't know if the Chiefs have done enough as a team to make me feel that scared. But then it's like Arrowhead is such a different beast than going to SoFi, especially when it's the Chargers SoFi. That
True.
I mean, I want to say the Chargers, but it's just it's the Chargers, man. Like I can't allow myself to believe that. You know what I mean? Like so.
But in the history of the Broncos, though, I feel like the Chargers have given the Broncos as many fits as the Chiefs have.
Yeah.
I mean, like the last 8 years has really skewed things.
Yeah, for sure.
Chargers issues are like playoffs, playing
when they come to Denver too. Like it's always the weird games with the Chargers. Like
just
Thursday night. If you see Thursday night Chargers coming to Denver, you're like, oh shit, like this might be a rough one.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly. It's a tough one for me.
Who would you say?
Again, I think you have to go Mahomes, right? And there's a whole bunch of stuff, like Pythagorean wins. You go back and say like, oh, this team won this many games, so they should have won this many.
Right.
The nerds say that the 15-2 Chiefs, who one of their losses, remember, was 38 zip. I think it was the shutout for the Broncos. I could be wrong about the shutout.
I think so.
I haven't thought about that in a minute. So win 15 games though. Pythagorean wins said they should have won 10, like 10.3.
I mean, obviously, dude. I mean,
but also it's like it's magic at the end. Like is
it magic or is it the refs?
It just keeps happening over whatever it is. It keeps happening. Like I've seen enough to think there's something sustainable about it. So I think for that reason, you just say the Chiefs are going to be tougher because I think there's a world in which you beat the Chargers and you're just like, oh, that was a nice, easy, fun win. I don't think that exists against the Chiefs.
I mean, that's true, and it's like, as long as they have Mahomes, it's hard to say like they truly got worse. You know what I mean? Like again, even look at the receiver core and whatever happens with Rice, it's like, does it really matter at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Like they still have 15 back there. So
Totally.
Yeah, great question though.
Yeah. I think that does it for today.
Let's do it, man. That was fun though.
Do you have any super chats? Oh, we do right there. Yeah, I always point it out already. That is from Nick's out for Harambe. Funny. I get it.
Shout out.
Hope the weather is good, Montana. No, you love. I do really love the weather.
Big weather guy,
is yeah.
If it weren't sports, would you be a meteorologist? Right
I have thought about that.
Really?
And I think it turns out you have to study a lot more than I realized. But again, like how much is you do a year of like studying the weather? I could get. Hey,
I don't know, but so I'll tell you this: whenever I was around my dad's TV station when I was a kid, the weather room was different, man.
Really,
lots of screens and maps and like math, like it's different. So I mean, credit to people who can do that. That wasn't really something that caught my eye. Although standing in front of the green screen always looked kind of fun.
There was a storm 2 nights ago. It was like middle of the night, and I was just laying there, and you could hear the like thunder. I was like, oh, this is electric. Or what the big one was, like you could see the flash because like we have shades down, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. But the flash and like everything lights up, and you're just like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. It was the first night of the British Open, the Open Championship for the nerds who do that stuff. And I was like, okay, starts at 11. I should watch a little bit, and I couldn't fall asleep because I was still watching as the storm was going on. I had the AirPods in, and so every time there was a flash, I'd be like, oh, I got to take the AirPod out so I can hear the thunder coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was electric.
I love that for you, though, man.
That's going to do it for today, and that's going to do it for the offseason because the guys are going to be back on Tuesday.
We did it.
With things to talk about. Going to be a lot of fun. And, yeah, they'll be back Tuesday. I'll be back on Friday, and I'll see you guys then.
We all silly like the mayor.